Tonight on Rock Center, President Kennedy's intern. Meredith Vieira's first report for us is an exclusive and explosive interview with a woman who's gone public with a secret she never thought she'd share about her intimate time spent with President Kennedy inside the White House and elsewhere while she was still a teenager. Her book is now out, and tonight Mimi Alford speaks for the first time with Meredith Vieira.
Oh, she had to marry somebody because Mimi Beardsley sound horrible.
It was exciting. It was glamorous. It was fun.
It was exciting. It was glamorous. It was fun. I bet it's the same thing those girls that was accusing T.I. was saying.
He was a 19-year-old college kid, an intern in the White House press office. He was the 45-year-old leader of the free world, and she was mesmerized.
The free world.
I think I was under the aura.
She says it all began on just her 4th day at the White House, when the president gave her a private tour that ended in the First Lady's bedroom.
He then put his hands on my shoulders and sort of guided me down to the edge of the bed, and I think he may have even said to me, "Is this all right?" I didn't really know what was about to happen. And then what did happen was I lost my virginity right there.
There's an intern, White House. 18-month affair with Jack Kennedy.
Yeah.
She was an intern at the White House?
Yeah.
So Clinton wasn't the first, huh? He made fucking... Holy shit. JFK did it right. 4 days into her internship, she was invited by an aide to go to for a midday swim in the White House pool.
It sounds nice.
Yeah, midday swim. 4 days into it, you're all green and ready to go.
Yep.
Where the handsome 45-year-old president swam daily to ease chronic back pain. JFK slid into the pool and floated up to her. "It's Mimi, isn't it?" he asked. "Yes, sir," she said. "And you're in the press office this summer, right?"
He does these impersonations. I swear, you think it was the real people.
"Yes, sir, I am," she said. That's what her voice probably sounded like.
Oh, God.
Lightning had struck. Later that day, Mimi was invited by Dave Powers, the president's first friend, and later the longtime curator of the Kennedy Library in Boston, to an after-work party. When she arrived at the White House residence, Powers and 2 other young female staffers were waiting. Powers poured and frequently refilled her glass with daiquiris until the commander-in-chief arrived.
Get her liquored up.
Yeah, nice.
Just so people know, they describe her as a slender, golden-haired 19-year-old.
Yes,
She's hot. They got pictures of her up, and you can tell, even though it's like the early 60s, she's very hot.
And because of her finishing school, she was all polished and blue blood.
Yeah.
Blue blood. She had blue blood connections, so.
JFK rolls up. The president invited her for a personal tour. She got up expecting the rest of the group to follow.
They know better.
They didn't. He took her to Mrs. Kennedy's room. Which, by the way, this is a president who has shit down.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed he was moving closer and closer. I could feel his breath on my neck.
Ooh.
He put his hand on my shoulder. The next thing she knew, he was standing above her, looking directly into her eyes and guiding her to the edge of the bed. By the way, 4 days into her internship. 4 days. It's anything matter.
We're not allowed to have interns.
No, we finally are.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, he didn't kick her in the cunt. Slowly, he unbuttoned the top of my shirt dress and touched my breasts.
Yes.
Then he reached up between my legs and started to pull off my underwear. I finished unbuttoning my shirt dress and let it fall off my shoulders.
Oh, man.
Kennedy pulled his pants down, but with his shirt still on, hovered above her on the bed. Hovered. He smelled of his cologne, 4711. He paused when he noticed she was resisting. Holy fuck.
Oh, she resisted a little bit, huh?
Well, you know, little pregame jitters.
Yeah. Oh.
"Haven't you done this before?" he asked. "No," she said. "Are you okay?" he asked. "Yes," she said. So he kept going, this time a little more gently.
What a guy.
After he finished, he hitched up his pants and smiled at me and pointed at the bathroom. Takes her cherry, then he hitches his pants up and points at the toilet.
Points to the fucking bathroom. Yeah, she was a virgin.
She said when she was done, she was in shock. He, on the other hand, was matter of fact. and acted as if he had just occurred was the most natural thing in the world.
Was there?
Would you like something to eat? He asked. The kitchen's right there.
No, thank you, Mr. President.
He called a car to pick her up and take her home. On the ride home, it kept echoing in my head, I'm not a virgin anymore.
Holy
Yeah, how about you're not a virgin anymore and Jack Kennedy took your fucking virginity?
The next week, she was again invited to go swimming. He barely acknowledged my arrival, betraying no hint of what had happened between us just a few days before. I couldn't bring myself to look him in the eye, she writes. Later, he led her into a different bedroom. This was the beginning of our affair. Their sex was varied and fun. He could be seductive and playful at times, and sometimes acted like he had all the time in the world. Other times, he was in no mood to linger.
He just needed to come.
They spent an inordinate amount of time taking baths and he changed his shirt 6 times a day because he hated feeling sweaty or grimy. I think he probably had a BO problem.
Oh, wow.
Sweaty Boston drunk.
Just sweating out the fucking whiskey.
But what it was, he was probably fucking so many different girls.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't want the stink of some other chick's twat on him.
And you know that big, hairy, early 60s bush.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't even touch it as far as
No.
any kind of manicure goes.
Yeah.
How do you have time for politics?
How
Amazing.
fuck? Well, he promised he would call later under the pseudonym Michael Carter.
Michael Carter.
And then he played a recording of Nat King Cole's Autumn Leaves. He made her concentrate on the lyrics. Even JFK's, listen to the words. This is the part that I think is pertinent to our situation. When Nat says, I'm fucking you, keep your mouth shut, or I'll have you killed like Marilyn. Listen to the lyrics.